Yeah, normally, my first tiredness happens a lot earlier than this, but yeah, now I can finally show what you do when you're tired or sick. Oh, hey there, Mitsuru. I think we have. Of course, our principal sucks. And yes, of course, he can adapt to many situations. That is part of the full arcana. This is interesting. She's mentioning that there are some days where Mitsuru is actually not in the dorm at all, and you won't be able to go to Tartarus that night. So, there are some nights you can't go to Tartarus, but for the most part, we're able to go to Tartarus at every point when we need to, so it's usually not that bad. Anyway, it's now... Oh, lunchtime. Another one of these. Since we don't actually have very many social links, these are quite boring. They're pretty much always the same. They do change a little bit depending on what's going on in each social link, though. Okay, so this is the same one we had before. He still seems like he's hiding something. And it's Kaz, but we're not seeing him today. Don't worry, these lunchtimes will get a little bit more interesting later. Like I said, they're basically your indication that a certain social link is available on this day. Okay, so we want to see Kenji today. But first, we're tired. Here's what you do when you're tired, and make sure that you always do this before your courage is maxed. We want to head to the school nurse's office. Remember how I told you how important that was going to be later? Yeah, this is why. School nurse's office, so let's go. Down these stairs is the fastest way. It's just past the faculty office, and we went there yesterday. Garisu's still wondering if that girl was talking about him. Oh, Mitsuru's here. What happens if we say yes? Yeah, she's busy. Now, a few things to point out here. Firstly, if you're thinking that you might be able to social link with Mitsuru here, you can, but just a fair warning, Mitsuru's social link is not unlocked for a very long time. Secondly, when Mitsuru tells you that she wants you to focus on academics, that is actually a hint on how to initiate her social link. It has something to do with these exam results, so bear that in mind. So let's go to the nurse's office, and finally we get to meet one of my favorite NPCs in the game. Here is Mr. Edogawa. This guy is awesome. The perfect opportunity to try his new concoction. Bit of mugwort, poison carrot, henbonnet, jujube, rabbit's foot, etc, etc. Yeah. As strange as this sounds, we need to say yes to drink it, and this is actually why we've been trying to get tired all this time. If you agree to drink it, it won't improve your condition. As he says, whether or not you get better is inconsequential. But this does increase your courage a little bit. This is why you want to be tired as often as you can early on in the game. Because this courage increase from the school nurse really goes a long way to maxing your courage. Now, normally, I deliberately stay tired in hope that I could do the same thing tomorrow, but tomorrow is a public holiday. Now, I said that concoction won't actually heal you. That's only half true. If you visit the men's room after taking that concoction, there is a slight chance, after this sound effect, let's see. Oh. Yeah, there's a slight chance that you'll get better from being tired if you visit the bathroom after taking that concoction. But, it didn't work then. Normally, I'd be relieved, but tomorrow's a public holiday, so, yeah, that's not actually gonna help very much. So yeah, every time you get tired, make sure to visit the school nurse. It doesn't take any time, and it gives a small boost in courage, and every little bit helps. You need to visit the nurse at least once, but other than that, again, every little bit helps. Especially if you miss a karaoke session, or if you desperately need to visit Tartarus. In fact, there are a couple of days where you actually will be forced to visit Tartarus on a non-Saturday, so taking these concoctions does help with courage. But anyway, speaking of Tartarus, well, Yukari is awesome at fighting, but, this is not what I was saying when it meant speaking of Tartarus. So, this here is actually a hint as to how to start Yukari's social link. This is hinting that you need max charm. However, Yukari's social link isn't even available to us for quite a while, so we don't need to worry about charm just yet. This is why we focus on courage first. Thankfully for Gary Stu, Kenji is not interested in her. Remember that you need to talk to him again to do the social link after you get that conversation. And since we have Nekomata, we can get on better with him. This is required. This is why we took all that effort into fusing Nekomata last Tartarus. Because if you don't have Nekomata by today, you will screw up the max social link schedule for the Magician link. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Now that we do have it though, remember though, the Persona doesn't actually have to be currently equipped. It just needs to be in your Persona deck. As long as you've got it with you, it's fine. So, back at the ramen place. Now, as emo as this sounds, what, life is in fact the best option here. Huh. Yeah, that does get kind of annoying. Unlike us, he doesn't have any, going to Tartarus to fight shadows to make things more interesting. Well, it's obvious here which option is the best one. Go for it. Yeah, people still think that Gary Stu's dating Yukari, and every other girl in the school. Finally, we get to find out what his secret plan is. And it's this. And we pretty much figured this out already by now. He mentioned Miss Kano's name right back at the start of school when we first talked to him. We didn't even know his name. He was disappointed that he wasn't in her class. But, well, he is in a different class for ethics. Kenji goes into way too much detail about one of his teachers. And Gary Stu's the only one who knows. He should be fine unless Gary Stu plans on stealing the teacher for one of... yeah, to add to his own waifu harem. But we have ranked up the Magician Arcana. It's now level 3. We're actually kind of getting there. Yeah, Gary Stu knows all about how to score with waifus. He's certainly the best one to go for advice there. Though, his advice probably won't work on any normal person because, well, Gary Stu has a habit of everyone falling in love with him, just spontaneously. Wow, we got our internet taken out by that giant shadow? That must really suck. Huh. We'll be able to connect to the internet soon. Interesting. Wow, cheap shot there. Huh. Online games, huh? You get a little bit more explanation if you say this. He's talking about MMORPGs here. And he gives us a game to have. It's called Innocent Sin Online. People who are familiar with earlier Persona games will recognize the title. Interestingly enough, though, it actually had a different title in the Japanese version. I'll explain that tomorrow. We get a copy of Innocent Sin Online. Standby basically means that the allies won't do anything. Basically, like Akihiko said, use it when you don't want to kill the enemy because you're scanning them, or if you want Gary Stu specifically to defeat the enemy, because that increases the odds of shuffle time. Yeah, it is boring. Sometimes your party members will automatically stand by if they know that there's nothing they can do to a certain enemy, like if it's immune to all of their elements. So tomorrow's a holiday. That sounds like a definite hint as to what we'll be doing tomorrow. And yeah, we're still tired. And Ikutsuki's here. They're going pretty well, actually. We made a lot of progress last time. Let's keep up the good work. And what's on TV? Yeah, tomorrow would be the start of Golden Week, although actually there are a couple of non-holidays after it. Golden Week is a period of Japan where you have basically a whole week of straight-up public holidays. It's one of the few times off school students get, so they very eagerly look forward to it. Yeah, traffic's probably going to be pretty bad. Well, we certainly will have a happy Golden Week. So here's something interesting. Healing skills are only half as effective on sick characters. So yeah, don't go to Tartarus when you're tired, because that's the easiest way to get sick, and if you're sick, well, you can go to the nurse's office to get the medicine to increase your courage, but yeah, being sick is not a good thing. Anyway, once again, we'll save here, and, well, tonight we'll have to go to the arcade. Saving here is actually quite important, because let's just say we'll have limited opportunities to save tomorrow. So let's head out. This time it's not karaoke, but the game sensor. I guess I could use these times to talk about what we're going to do the next day and what personas we'll probably be needing. We don't need any personas in particular for tomorrow. We're going to be starting a new social link though. So that's going to be interesting. It's a very unique social link, let's just say. And it's going to be the start of probably one of the most annoying ones in the game. So let's stay here until midnight and play Horror House, this game's biggest money sink at this point. This is why we need to make so much money in Tartarus, but it does give a better courage increase than just karaoke. And speaking of which, our courage has changed from ordinary to determined. We can now revive ourselves from save points. Of course, if we tap into the dark side of determination, we could also trap people in our own nightmarish world and repeatedly kill them and save over it again and again and again. Let's just hope Gary Stu doesn't do that. Now, we're not feeling well. Not feeling well tomorrow actually won't be that good because we can't go to school tomorrow, but we're going to try it anyway, just in case we get sick and it continues into Thursday, where we could take the medicine to increase our courage. Now, there's a possibility that we might not be tired after tonight. There is also a possibility that we might get worse than tired. Let's see what our luck is like. We're not tired anymore. Okay then. This might actually make it easier to prepare for Tartarus on Saturday. But today is Showa Day. It's a public holiday. Showa Day is the birthday of Emperor Hirohito, the Emperor of Japan during the Showa period, which was, yeah, the period during World War II, so not really a very good time for Japan. It was celebrated as the Emperor's birthday public holiday during his lifetime. After he passed away, it became Greenery Day for a little bit, then Greenery Day got moved, and then it got renamed Showa Day, a day of reflection and remembrance for the Showa era. However, Gary Stu doesn't really care about that. He's going to spend today playing MMORPGs. Yeah. Though it is recommended that you do so today, because it's your best opportunity to start this one off. Now, if you want to save, go downstairs to the save point now, because you will not have another chance today. If we go to our desk here, That tutorial popping up is because I forgot to save after last Sunday. The internet connection is back up, so we can now play the game Junpei gave us. Let's play the MMORPG Innocent Sin Online. Spring, the year 20XX. You have one message. From Phil. Interesting. Reality is just a series of events and players acting out what they believe is real. When we accept that fact, our world becomes reality. Reality is but a reflection of our thoughts and expectations. But, what if we were merely reflecting into another's mirror? What if we dreamed one night that we were a butterfly, but in fact the butterfly is dreaming that it is us? Are you prepared to look through that mirror and reach out to the truth? Hax0rz gets this odd feeling that Phil is kind of familiar. For some reason, Phil reminds him of a blue butterfly that he saw on his way to the dorm on the first night here. It's probably just a coincidence though. Probably. Right? There are 1 players in the area. A reporter approaches. And I hope you like leet speak, because this social link's going to be all about it. In the Japanese version, they mostly just spoke in casual Japanese with a lot of katakana, but in the English localization, they went full out and went for leet speak, which does make sense here. Oh, you noob. This is a really, really good social link, by the way. I love this. It's just hilarious. We haven't finished generating our character yet. Welcome to game, and I love this. Good thing I'm using my low-level ult. So much MMO jokes here. Unfortunately, this is kind of a dead MMO these days. It's actually a little funny. Atlas did actually try their hand at making their own MMORPG, called Shin Megami Tensei Imagine. Ironically, the game ended up dying due to lack of players, just like this one. And it was made after this game, so, prophetic much? So, just like usual, which name that you go- I mean, which name? Which option you go for here doesn't actually matter. She got kinda OOC there. We are supposed to be our alternate selves, right? Huh. What are we gonna call ourselves? Maybe Orpheus? Tatsuya. Interesting. And she's changing her name to Maya. Tatsuya and Maya is a reference to 2 major characters in Persona 2. And the title of this MMO is also a reference to Persona 2. Innocent Sin is one half of a Persona 2 duology. Yeah, Persona 2 is actually 2 games. It's kind of weird. Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. Now, in the Japanese version, the reference in this social link was actually very different. The game was called Devil Busters Online, and was a reference to Megami Tensei 2. Not Shin Megami Tensei 2, Megami Tensei 2, the one that predates even that. Also, the characters' names here were, for Maya, Y-Core, and for Tatsuya, Njima. They reference the main characters of Megami Tensei 1. So, obviously they changed these references because both of those 2 games were never officially released outside Japan, and still aren't. But the weird thing is, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, at the time of this game's release, was also not released outside Japan. For some weird reason, we only ever got Eternal Punishment. We had to wait for the PSP remake to play Innocent Sin, and weirdly enough, we didn't get the PSP remake of Eternal Punishment. So yeah, if you want to play Persona 2, it's kind of awkward being an English speaker. At least it's better than early in Persona 1, where when they first released that, they utterly forkids the translation and tried to make it all American. And this is also a reference to Persona 2. So she's usually idling here on her days off. You're bored, maybe we can level together. We met a person online who uses a character named Maya. Hax0rz is interesting since they seem like a girl, but knowing the internet, they're probably a 50-year-old fat guy. But we've got a new social link. This is the Hermit Arcana. Yeah, kind of a bit of funny humor here that they're using the Hermit Arcana to to represent an MMORPG. Yeah, I think that says something about MMO players. Again, it's really ironic that they actually did make their own MMO later. But we got a new social link.
The Hermit Arcana represents isolation and introspection, but also philosophical soul-searching and attaining hidden wisdom. It also has a deep association with the unconscious mind. In this game, it's represented as a social link by a person who plays the MMORPG Innocent Sin Online with the handle Maya. And that's really all I can say, because Maya's real identity is kind of a pretty big spoiler. I mean, not for plot purposes, but more just for the social link itself. So, I'm just going to give a warning. Maybe try not to look at the related videos on any of my videos where I do the Hermit social links, because a lot of them just love to spoil who the Hermit is in their thumbnails. In fact, even googling Hermit Arcana, one of the first results that shows up is going to spoil who the Hermit social link is in this game. So yeah, be very, very careful when looking up information on this social link, because you're very likely to spoil who it is, and well, it's best if you don't have it ruined for you. To be fair, it is pretty obvious fairly soon into the link, but until then I'm going to keep quiet. In fact, what I just said kind of sums up the personas of the Hermit Arcana. The personas are mostly mythological figures who either prefer to remain behind the scenes or are sort of hidden figures in their mythologies. Several of them are associated with wisdom as well, but they often have that common theme of being hidden from the public eye. To the Arcana's association with the mind, most Hermit Arcana personas specialize in mental status ailments. Mental ailments are a subcategory of status ailments in this game that cover things like fear, panic, distress, rage, those kind of things. Most Hermit Arcana personas specialize in those kind of things, so when you want to debilitate your enemies, the Hermit Arcana really helps. Now, the Hermit Arcana link is actually kind of unique, because you can only level it up on Sundays or holidays, so you have to wait quite a while sometimes to get opportunities to even do this link. Not only that, it's also one of the most annoying to actually complete because, well, for reasons that I'll explain right after this stat profile's over. Now, in the female route of Persona 3 Portable, you get a totally different social link for the Hermits, Saori Hasegawa, who's a member of either the Health or Library Committee. Unfortunately, Saori is generally considered one of the most forgettable characters in the entire game. I barely see any references at all to her in most materials pertaining to this game. I only recently just looked up her entire social link story, and it's actually quite interesting, but yeah, a lot of people find her to be the least interesting of one of the social links, especially among the female protagonist ones. In fact, she's probably one of the only female protagonist social links who's generally considered to be less interesting than their male counterparts. And she's actually one of the only characters in the entire game, either major or social link characters, who don't have a major role in any of the drama CDs for this game. So yeah, she tends to be forgotten quite a lot, sadly. So, I really like this social link overall. Oh yeah, Let's Think Positive's also a reference to Persona 2. And Triesto, this is actually pretty funny. Triesto is a spell in this game that you use to escape from dungeons, so that's kind of cool. But there's something decidedly not so good about this social link. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait. There. If you initiate the Hermit social link, if you want to spend time with Maya, it uses up the whole day, including evening and late night. No karaoke, no study, no nothing, just skip straight to school the next day. So, yeah, the Hermit social link is quite frustrating in that regard. But hey, Kenji seems different. He's kind of nervous. I think we know what he's being nervous about, but let's just ask him anyway.
We're not actually going to see him after school today, though. And yeah, remember what I said about not having an opportunity to save? Yeah, you don't have an opportunity to save after that Sunday until now, so yeah, we have to do all this day too. Ancient tombs. Once again, this guy is still obsessed with the Sengoku era. I should mention that this guy actually does have a portrait in the PSP version, at least I think he does. The Warhawk of the Battlefield. I wonder if that's the guy who uses Starly in Pokemon Conquest. That'd be pretty cool. No, we're gonna stay awake. Mostly because we want to be tired. Kitoro Tomb in Nara, huh? I've been to Nara, but I don't think I've been to that tomb. Did see a lot of deers there, though. Deer, whatever. And just like that, it's after school. And we're not tired or sick today, so no nurse visit for us. And my previous attempt at recording this, we actually were sick, so we could see the nurse and get a courage boost. Yeah, kind of annoying that. We might need to save and reload a little bit later to make sure that we get enough courage boost, because we missed karaoke last night. Though for now, our courage is at least ranked 3 out of 6, so we are halfway there. Today we need to see Kaz. And today is in fact the day when... Oh yeah, we need to talk to him again to hear this. Oh, also, this gives me an opportunity to say Yukari's here. Hi, Yukari. Yeah, like I said, no social link with her yet. That doesn't actually open up until a lot later. But anyway, today is the day we actually need Aramitama for. So, since we do have it, we get the points bonus for this one. This is crucial because if you don't have Aramitama now, the scheduling might be a bit harder later on, though I have heard reports of people saying that having it today isn't 100% necessary, but it does make things a lot easier. So, let's go to practice today. Well, Garisu is determined now. But today's Chariot social link is actually going to be quite interesting. You might notice that someone else is here this time. Wilcat is tough but fun. Looks like he wants to have a match. But, uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, that thing he was talking about yesterday, looks like it wasn't so minor after all. Now we even get crisis music. And at the nurse's office. Asthma. That looked a little more than just asthma. Oh, those are his seniors, huh? You sure it's just asthma? Yeah. Here we need to say, are you sure you're okay? Yeah, that's a lie. Oh, that's really not good. Something's wrong with his knee. What we have to say here is, will it heal? That's what he's most concerned about at the moment. That's probably going to make it worse, but at least he seems happier. Once again, we have another secret. I'm gonna have to tell everyone that he just collapsed of asthma for some reason. But with that, we get another rank up for the Chariot Arcana. It's now level 3. We're definitely improving these two that we started off with. Definitely two good Arcanas to increase early on in the game. I hope he's okay. Hopefully he doesn't push himself on the way home. But, like I said, there's something a little special about today's social link. Getting a sense of deja vu. Let's talk to her again. And let's ask the same thing. This time, she's actually free though. This will not happen if you didn't ask her to walk home with you last time. So, that's important that you did that. But if we agree to this, looks like we're getting 2 social links for the price of 1 today. Yeah, sometimes you can meet other people through social links. So yeah, you can grow your social network that way. And we're at the cafe named after that evil corrupt king from Fire Emblem 4. Huh. Yeah, that sounds pretty tough. Well, you do get pretty good exercise being on that team. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, this being the start of a social link, again, what you say here doesn't matter. Oh, Stews. Yeah, he is perfect in every way. Huh, she calls him Kaz. Interesting. Well, I think we're doing more to help him at this point. But at least we can ask her. She seems concerned about us. And that means... yet another new social link. This would be the Strength Arcana. The Strength Arcana is represented by a woman taming a vicious beast, which is usually a lion. And because of that, it's associated with symbolism of beast and beauty, but also of the virtues of kindness, courage, and self-control winning over brute force. Essentially, it represents strength of heart rather than physical strength. The Strength social link in this game is represented by Yuko Nishiwagi, a member of the sports team. Whichever one you join, it doesn't really matter. In fact, the link kinda goes out of its way to skirt the issue of which club you actually joined. It covers the same subject matter regardless. The symbolism of the Strength Arcana for her, at least at first, seems to relate how she kinda has to wrangle the other members of the team, almost like animals. But we'll find out more about her inner strength as this link progresses. Now, speaking of this link progressing, that pink border that I've got around her name there, this is the first time you'll be seeing this. This indicates that this social link is in fact a romantic one. However, we're not actually going to worry about that just yet, because Yuko's romance, or at least the romantic part of her link, doesn't start until quite late. So for now, that's not really an issue. The female protagonist has a different strength social link, but one that I can't actually mention just yet because, as you can tell by those question marks at the top, it's a persona of a team member who hasn't joined yet, so I'll discuss that when they join. Yuko is still present in the female protagonist's route, they're just a little less relevant, and their relationship with Kaz has actually gone into a little bit more than it is with the male. In fact, in the female protagonist's route, there are actually hints of shipping between the two of them. Personas of the Strength Arcana tend to be mythological figures who embody strength of not just body, but also strength of character. Sometimes mythological beasts are also associated with the Strength Arcana, in fitting with the card's imagery, and that's something that we, hint hint, might see a little later. In terms of gameplay, the Strength Arcana is something of a counterpart to the Chariot.
Both the Chariot and Strength personas specialize in physical abilities, but the difference here is that while Chariot leans more towards physical offense, Strength leans a little more towards the defensive side. While most Strength Arcana personas do indeed have high strength stats, and mostly learn physical attacking skills, they also learn skills that deal with either resisting or dodging certain kinds of attacks, mostly physical. Things like Evade Strike, Evade Slash, Evade Pierce, and the equivalent resist skills as well. So that's pretty much the main difference. If you want to be a little more defensive on the physical side, or evasive, then the Strength Arcana is the one you want to rely on. For some reason I just can't stop looking at that maid in the corner who's just standing there doing absolutely nothing, despite having a unique model. Much to Hax0rz's annoyance, he and this girl are still just casual acquaintances. But that might change someday. Shut up, Hax0rz! Why is everyone wanting to catch particular shows? Candy's doing that, she's doing that. But time to head back to the dorm. 2 social links for the price of 1. That was a pretty good day. And in fact, it's about to get even more interesting. We've got a phone call. Wait, what? How did you get this number? In fact, I don't think you even have a phone. Not that Hax0rz is complaining about a hot chick suddenly having his number, but still. She wants to see us, and she wants us to use the Velvet Room entrance in Polonium Mall. If you're playing normally, this is generally your first indication that that entrance even exists, unless you've been exploring around.
Welcome back.
We'll actually want to go there as soon as we get the opportunity. First though, let's talk to everyone. Yeah, we know about the all-out attack. So, here's something that I didn't mention before. If the protagonist is knocked down or otherwise immobilized, you can't initiate the all-out attack at all. It relies on the protagonist to start it off. Yeah, like I said. And yes, if the protagonist goes down permanently, it is game over. Assign target basically makes everyone pile on one enemy. And once that enemy's been defeated, they go back to their normal fighting style. Interesting to know that. So, yeah, anytime you analyze an enemy, your teammates will already have its information for, permanently, so they won't be derps and, yeah, use things that are resisted or immune. Yukari's persona's not that good in terms of strength, so her bow attacks are better for stunning enemies that are weak to pierce, rather than actually doing good damage. Yeah, her Garu skills are pretty effective, as is her healing. Hey, cherry blossoms. It's almost going to be the holiday period of Golden Week, but until then, we have some more stuff to do. Like going to the Velvet Room, so I'll see you when we get there.